side of the building, around the corner from the house. Today the Senate, if we come this way, is in the center of the building. Kind of looking down on the house. Even though the House and Senate share power, possibly at one point the senators thought they were more important. But they probably went there because it was a larger space than what they were originally using. That room used to be the state library. And initially it was fairly sparse, not a very large collection. By the early 1900s, the state librarian was looking for more room, not necessarily in the building. So he had plans for a whole new building. That opened across the street by 1910. And when the library left the building, so did the Supreme Court. Court was also on the third floor. All right, let's go down and I'll get you in there and tell you more. Watch your step as we go down. There are actually some offices that had a secondary floor put in because there were steps down. These statues are plaster models that the artist John Quincy Adams Ward used to carve the marble statues at the base of the dome. The figures, and there's 6 statues, or 6 themes, 12 statues in total, represent, let's go this way, agriculture, commerce, education, law, music, and science. I like to try to do them alphabetically. Ward was commissioned to design 12 unique themes. And like a lot of what you've been hearing, there were issues with money. So he finished his first 6 statues, just made copies of them. And to lend symmetry to the building, copies of the models are on the opposite side. And then around the dome, the statues are situated so they're not next to their sister, as we like to say. As we come down the stairs, please watch your step. There's a band of black marble at the base, and it looks a little like another step. And if you'd like me to take the elevator or the stairs down to the first floor, when we're done with the Senate, just let me know what you'd like to do.
Well, that's old, yeah.
Purely decorative today. But on occasion, people will go in. It's a nice spot for a cell phone conversation.
Huh.
I love the double doors. Lying this way, closer view of the dome and the Stetson. You can actually go through the gate to the center of the room. We just have to avoid the stain seal on the floor. So you can go right into the circle if you like.
Wow, it just gets better and better. Wow.
As I said upstairs, this was the state library. It was converted into the Senate, thank you, by 1913. And today we consider it more of a renovation than a restoration. There are elements of 1878, the stained glass windows, the reproduction plasterwork above the windows and the door, along with this green color. The gentleman who oversaw the Stetson restoration referred to it as the library green, and he pushed for this color to be used because he felt it was common. From 1913, we have the 2 visitor galleries, the mahogany woodwork, and the caucus or meeting rooms below. When the members caucus, they do so in private. Democrats meet in rooms to my right, Republicans to the left. On the floor, they sit by district, so the parties are mixed. Seating, District 1 Hartford members to speak on bills, pretty much what the speaker does. Difference is voting. She can only vote in case of a tie, and the lieutenant governor is never required to vote in the tie. But if a tie stands, the bill fails, even if it passed the House of Representatives unanimously. I'm going to have you go up to the lieutenant governor's podium. This is a little story to tell you about the chair she sits in.
That's fancy. Oh, that's a fancy chair, yeah. Wow.
The chair that I hope you sit in is called the wishing chair. There's a long tradition claiming lieutenant governors would sit in the chair, think of their future, perhaps even wish to become governor. Over the years, we've had a handful of governors who once were lieutenant governor, but these were individuals who took office when their predecessor either resigned or passed away. And that is if they won an outright election. The chair is special to us because of the wood. This is one of the best items carved from what we call the Charter Oak. The story goes back to 1662, when King Charles II of England granted the Connecticut colony a self-governing charter. For about 25 years, the colonists enjoyed the freedom of choosing their governor and form a government. But when Charles died, he was succeeded by his brother James. Almost immediately, the new king ordered the surrender of all the charters. One of his plans was to combine New York with New England and make a Dominion of New England, a big colony. Well, the Connecticut leaders, having known self-governing since the 1630s, ignored the king for as long as they could. Then in the fall of 1687, they had to meet with the king's representatives. The meeting took place late October in a Hartford tavern. The room was lit by hundreds of candles, and on one of the tables, the charter. The British allowed the colonists to speak well into the night. They anticipated the surrender of the charter, but that never happened. Legend claims that at some point the king